may be able to go tonight, but not starting. As we're underway and the Privateers win the opening tap, and Tyrus Crawford, maybe their best athlete, averaging nearly 10 boards a game, apparently not available. So tough for an NAI school to take on a Division I shorthanded, but the Privateers shorthanded as well as they work it around the perimeter. Derek St. Hilaire averaging 19 points a game, not available tonight due to a minor injury, but Tyson Jackson certainly is showing his range and hitting a 17-footer.
I'm glad to see Tyson read the defense. The defender backed off of him and tried to clog the middle. Tyson was able to knock down that high post jump shot.
Kamani Dowdy getting the start tonight, along with Jamel Myers, a couple who haven't started lately for UNO, but did see plenty of action last year and are key reserves for New Orleans. And Troy Green, the most experienced Privateer in program history, number 3, off the ball now as it's a long two-pointer attempted there and missed by Jeremiah August, and out of bounds to Dillard. One way the Blue Devils can stay in this game, they're an excellent offensive rebounding team, Coach, averaging 18 per game.
Yeah, they do a great job crashing the boards. We have to get a body on them and then go pursue the ball. They're averaging 74 points a game, but so UNO as well as average 74 points. So they get a lot of buckets on offensive rebounds as well as transition buckets.
After that kick ball, Dillard will try to work it in again. Keep an eye on for the Blue Devils in blue, number 11, Elijah Moore, coming off a 26-point game this past weekend to be named GCAC Player of the Week. That jumper rattles home, and a really nice one by Rajon Billingsley, another player coming back from injury, only been available for 3 weeks, but ties this game at 2. Now down low, another shot for Jackson, partially deflected, and Billingsley comes up with it for Dillard.
Yeah, Jackson's got to power that ball to the rim. That was a nice pass inside to him. He just got to finish the play. Just go right up when you catch instead of pump faking. No one on the Dillard team can handle his strength. So you got to make sure you're ready to go.
Jeremiah August, a contested long 2 from the left side, goes in over Jackson. Dillard up 4-2 early. August, another player to watch, averaging over 11 rebounds per game, and he's had 31 in his past 2. Now a pull-up jumper off target from the mid-range and out of bounds on the miss by Dowdy to Dillard.
August is averaging 10 rebounds a game, so he does a great job of crashing the board. He rebounds out of his area, and that's why he's so effective, and you got to make sure that you keep a body on him at all times.
Both of these teams in man defense early, as that is a catch and shoot opportunity that is missed. Long rebound for Dillard after the off-target shot by Billingsley, and nearly an air ball there from August that's picked up by Dowdy. To the left wing in the front court for the scoop that's off target by Daniel Sacchi. Nice look, didn't go. Now Dillard on the run and down the floor past Troy Green, bank it up and in by Nicholas Carmouche.
But that's, again, they're in transition. You got to be able to locate and keep that ball from getting layups and dunks in transition.
Dillard didn't find a shooter and Dowdy was open, but then the outlet and miscommunication there between Carmouche and Billingsley as the ball goes out of bounds into the UNO bench. Privateers just 1 of 5 shooting here early on in the contest, trailing by 4, 17-20 and counting opening half as Troy Green looks down low to Sacchi on the cut, fumbled the catch, now will try the reverse layup and able to back his way in and score it. And Troy Green trying to create something in the backcourt. We want to point out that Green is the leader in steals in Southland play so far with 2.2 a contest. UNO caught sleeping the overtop pass and an easy layup for Elijah Moore.
Well, you can't sleep. The more this team plays with you, the more confidence that they'll have.
Now Moore a steal and a bucket the other way as a lazy Privateer pass, and Moore made UNO pay. 4 straight points for him. 10-4, the Blue Devils lead. A little bit of a surprise at the start of this one. Now here is Dowdy, top of the key, on the dribble, looking after the screen down low, and it's stolen away, intended for Jamel Myers. And so far, Dillard making some plays here early on. Now they'll go down low, and it's a fadeaway on the catch and a miss. Dillard trying to come up with the offensive rebound and can't do it, and the Privateers finally clear it. Here is Green in transition. Pull up Jay from the left elbow, nothing but net.
That's what we got to get from Troy Green right now. He's got to take over these possessions because he's capable of having real impact on this game. But Dillard started off playing very good basketball.
Inside the 16-minute mark, Blue Devils looking to add to a 4-point lead, but the corner three is off target. Long rebound for the Privateers and Sackey. Up ahead, Jackson, who had a great third as the visiting Blue Devils hold a 10-6 lead. A couple of Privateer subs of note. Deontay Bell, big number 33, after a really good performance off the bench in UNO's last game in the Southland tip-off out there, along with experienced fourth-year guard Rodney Carson, number 24 on the ball now defensively. As UNO trying to come up with some stops here. Dillard shooting 50% early. That a contested long two. That's an air ball. Darius Washington, the true freshman, coming up with the rebound. Now here is Troy Green kicking to the wing. 4-3. Carson off the back of the rim, fighting for the rebound, but Dillard able to come up with it. Jeremiah August.
August is long and rangy. He goes and chases rebounds. You got to keep a body on him. But UNO's got to take care of the basketball. Every time it's a turnover, it's a lost possession.
Here is August in the post against the young Washington and able to hit a shot over him. Pretty well defended, but a better finish for August as he scores his second bucket and gives Dillard a 12-6 lead here with 14:45 and counting first half. Green, middle of the floor inside the arc, will feed the post left side now to Bell. Gave up his dribble, now decides to go up with it and lost it. Carson able to save it off the floor to Green, open for three. Missing everything. Long board again for the Privateers off the glass. With 5 to shoot, here is Washington turning and banking it in. Young fella out of Louisville with a nice post move.
Yeah, that was a good move by Washington. He's got to continue to work harder and be a factor in this basketball game. He's as big as any kid out there.
After the miss on the long three by Billingsley, UNO clears it. Now here's Sackey into the paint to Green. Pull-up jumper inside the lane is good. About a 12-footer for TG, his second bucket. And UNO now within 2 at the 14-minute mark.
Well, here come the full-court press. Troy Green is guarding the ball. I don't know how UNO is losing people.
Totally blew that one as Moore got the layup all by himself down low.
Yeah, you got to do a much better job of identifying who you're guarding or what area you're guarding as well. This is the second easy layup they've given up.
Green with the 3 off the screen, and Bell, I don't think he knew much about it putting his hands up, but enough to deflect it in the bucket anyway. Offensive putback for Bell, his first 2. UNO back within 2 now. Dillard for 3, and Billingsley has a license to shoot. And a loose ball foul will be called against the Privateers and Washington.
Well, Jeremiah August is just a terror on the glass. He's gotten his hand on quite a few rebounds, but you got to identify him and keep him off the boards.
15 rebounds in Dillard's last game before Christmas, and their first game back since then on Saturday. 16 more for August. Now a tough fadeaway jumper is making an impact right away. Norris Williams deflects it on the break, lay it in and one. Rodney Carson running the floor and getting the lay-in.
That's when the Privateers are at their best, when they're running in transition. They're a very tough team, especially when they run collectively.
Created there by the nice defensive play by another true freshman in Williams, and getting Carson on the board early, who struggled offensively so far this year, but able to knock down the free throw and give UNO the lead at 15-14, 13-11 and counting in this opening half.
Yeah, well, the defense got to close airspace, get in passing lane, and force some turnovers at this point.
And Carson trying to apply some pressure on the ball, and he did just what he had to do as Travion Mason lost it off his knee out of bounds.
I like what Carson brought that time. He brought good ball pressure. The other 4 guys was in shell defense, jumping to the ball, one pass away, denying the balls, and that's what every possession's got to be with that sustained effort.
Just the second turnover for Dillard so far as the Privateers look to add to a slender advantage, and going down low to Bell on the left block where he's triple teamed. Yeah, he finds his teammate for the layup, Darius Washington. 2 young big fellas working together that time.
I see those 2 big guys maturing from the beginning of the year, but anytime you see Bell and Washington, gives us a good 1-2 punch inside.
New Orleans 17, Dillard 14. Now in the paint, a sweeping jump hook. Boy, that's a heck of a shot by Elijah Moore, and his confidence from the last game carrying over to this one. He's 4 of 6 for 8 points. 17-16, UNO leads by a point as they'll go right back down to Bell. Same spot, low block left. Nice pass into the corner, finds an open Williams who misses the 3 ball. But Green comes up with the rebound and goes right to the bucket and banks it in.
Yeah. And, you know, you see Green do that a lot for his size. He's very effective getting rebounds, chasing balls. You got to continue to pursue balls for 40 minutes.
You don't see Green do this very often, but he pulls up off the dribble and hits the long 3 far side. Green starting to feel his shot already with 9 points.
No, that was a good kick ahead to Green. Green took what the defense gave him. He read when and when not to. Nice pull-up jumper by Troy Green.
5-0 UNO run the past couple possessions to take their biggest lead at 22-16, 11-20 and counting first half. And Dillard trying to put up shots quickly. This time the drive and kick over the shoulder, and the mid-range jumper is pure. Nice job by Melvin Baker from about 13 feet.
Yeah.
UNO not wasting time. Carson finding Washington. One power dribble winds up fading away with the shot, though, and missing it. Dillard clears. Here is Carmouche finding the trailer. Layup good by Elijah Moore, and an assist for Carmouche. We got to mention how good he's been distributing the basketball. He's a part-time high school coach who's playing college basketball.
Wow.
Coach. That, you don't hear about that, but he's got 19 assists in his last 2 games coming in, and you see his floor vision there. Is Dillard back within a bucket? Now UNO trying to be patient. We talked about that, and Norris Williams for a youngster, really good at the point guard spot. Carson right side will go baseline to Green with 5 on the shot clock. He shoots a long 2, the Rainmaker up and in, and TG already in double figures with 11.
Troy's got it going right now. He's got good rhythm. He's got good elevation on his jump shot. But you got to give credit to the Dillard kids. They came to play tonight.
Yeah, the tempo's high on both ends. Some nice shot making as Mason will try to feed the post, as now it's August against Washington. Kicking to the opposite corner. The long 3 is off back iron. Rebound Privateers is Moore. Not able to convert the open look. Green will try another 3. That's a little short straight away. Rebound for Travion Mason, who says, for once for Dillard, let's slow things down a little bit. Trailing 24-20.
Yeah, well, Travion Mason is a very good basketball player. He's averaging 12 points a game.
And a nice dime there created by the penetration as August with the chippy on the dish down low.
Jeremiah August. I got a feeling we're going to be calling that name the rest of the night. He's gotten off to a good start. You can see his confidence is getting higher and higher.
Troy Green with the rebound again, but had it slapped away. I think Mason got a hand on it, picked up the loose ball. Chance to run for Dillard, and able to do so, but not able to make the running banker. Moore misses. Privateers rebounded. Nearing the 9-minute mark, entertaining and up-tempo at Lakefront Arena with UNO up 2. Carson trying to double that advantage, and he does from 15 feet away.
Yeah. Yep.
To action with New Orleans leading Dillard 26-22 inside 9 minutes to go in the first half. And the Privateers going deeper into their bench as Turk Vincent, a true freshman guard, on the ball right now, getting his first opportunity to play and creating a loose ball, but it's tapped back to the big man who's had a nice start in Jeremiah August. Now under pressure, here's Mason looking to drive, misses another runner, and cleared eventually by the big man for New Orleans, Tyson Jackson. Up ahead to Sackey. Finds an open man, lay it up and in. Kamani Dowdy, good vision by the veteran point guard.
Yeah, that's bringing a lot of pressure to the defense, keeping them on their heels when you can have a 5-man attack in transition.
UNO shooting 50% from the floor now after that make, as Dillard again trying to do it with dribble penetration, setting up the jumper for August, who misses. Another board for Jackson. Troy Green getting a rest after his great start, 11 points. And his only assist so far, now in 7th in Privateer history all by himself, as UNO not able to convert in the paint on the turnaround missed by Kirkland, who's seeing his first action. Didn't get the start tonight, but Privateer's most effective inside score, normally a factor for them. Another contested jumper by Dillard. That's good news for UNO as Dowdy comes up with the rebound on the miss by Billingsley. Up ahead running the floor, Jackson, one dribble, he has his shot blocked. Puts it down low again, fumbles it, tries to go up again, it's blocked. Once more, second leading scorer and most veteran player in his 5th year in the program, off to a great start with 11 points and 4 rebounds. And Tyson Jackson cashing in on the 3-point opportunity for his 5th point to extend the Privateers' lead to 9, 7:18 and counting first half, as UNO going deep into their available bench for this one. Nice move to the bucket, but they will call a clear out on that move, Coach. The old hook on Travion Mason to turn it over.
Yeah, Travion Mason is a floor general for them. He controls the tempo of the ball game, but he averages 12 points and 5 rebounds. For his size, getting 5 rebounds a game, that shows that he's a very tough player.
Simeon Kirkland, who hasn't gotten involved much yet since coming in, passes it off to Saki. A good floor general in his own right, and a heck of a finish there with the scoop layup.
Saki is doing a good job in terms of controlling tempo for UNO. He's always going to be a very on-ball defender, very good at that. But UNO's got to talk more on defense to present a 6-man. You got to hear a voice, and right now I don't hear that voice.
Double team on the baseline, Dillard passing out of it, but really struggling to get into their offense. Then Kamani Dowdy called for a foul out on the perimeter. Bit of a bailout, and one of the rare foul calls in this game. First on Dowdy, we've only had 2 fouls apiece called on these two teams as they've really played up tempo. Physical, but not too physical with 6:30 to go, and UNO up by 11. By the way, Coach, UNO's bench outscoring Dillard's 11-0. Big reason why. Step back jumper will be off target for 3, and another rebound for Tyson Jackson on the miss by a sophomore guard, Makai Pope. Jackson trails and gets it up top the other way. Shows he can do a little off the dribble. Put Vincent in a tough spot, but he almost finished over 2 Blue Devils. Too strong. Rebound Dillard. Other way with it, Pope. And Dillard will work it outside to try to set up. No, they won't. A slash and an opportunity. There's Mason taking advantage of a seam and getting a layup.
Yeah, Travion Mason is really having a good half. But today's game is being officiated by Brent Dugas, Earl Lenny, and Garrett Terrier.
A lot of contact there down low. A must whistle call as it was a cut to the post for Dowdy. Tried to muscle it up there, but did draw the obvious foul as Bates called for his first personal. He's an addition to the roster who played last year. This is his first game of the year. Shamar Bates, a New Orleans product, as they are shorthanded and digging a little deep into their options as Dowdy makes the first of 2 free throws on this trip.
Well, you know, when you play some of the NAIA schools, they will have a little bit different roster the second semester. So you might get a scouting report ready, and somebody might show up on the court that you weren't prepared for. And so you definitely got to be sure that you have a coach on the bench that did the scout, is able to recognize that there's a new player on the court.
Dowdy splitting the trip at the foul line, giving UNO a 10-point lead. Now on the run and really off target. They're forcing it as Pope, but Dillard comes up with a second chance here. A fumble of the dribble, and it has it ripped away. The steal by Saki. Up ahead, Dowdy for the dunk. UNO rewarded often here when they've been able to create turnover opportunities. There haven't been a bunch, but Privateers have made the Blue Devils pay, now leading 36-24, nearing 5 minutes to go in this first half at Lakefront Arena.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what points off of turnovers will be. I think UNO may be up 5-2 at this point.
Mason dominating the ball, but the shot clock down to 6. He gets around Jackson. The help comes from Kirkland, but it drops right back in his lap. Fortunate to get the layup there as Mason stuck with it. His second made field goal, and now on the front court he tries to draw a foul and called for the block between the rings.
Yeah, Mason is a very active player. He brings a lot to the table on the offensive end, but he does a good job on the defensive side too. He plays both ends with a lot of desire.
Troy Green back in the contest for the Privateers along with Jamel Myers, and that allows UNO, I think their depth might wear on the Blue Devils as this one goes along. That pass nearly stolen, but Saki able to take it, drive baseline right, can't get the reverse to go down as it's blocked and picked up by August. Privateers leading 36-26 at the 4:25 mark of this first half. Thinking about launching a long one, but not doing it as more, as Dillard spreading the perimeter a little bit more here on this trip down the court. Tough fadeaway 2 from deep is off target. The miss by Billingsley. Rebound Privateers. Green to the left wing. Dowdy back to Green behind him. Thought about shooting it. Now we'll put it on the floor here. UNO works it to the right side. Myers wants it down low, doesn't get it. Instead it comes left side. Doughty on the dribble will take the corner three, and nothing but net for Kamani as he created space with the thought of the drive, backed up the defender enough.
That was a good read. UNO's got to continue to make those type of reads on the offensive end, take care of the ball and get a shot every time down.
Doughty with 8 points early. Jumper missed. That look by Moore. Here come the Privateers again. A lot of one and dones. That's good news for a UNO team that was worried about Dillard's offensive rebounding. Here's Jackson to the cutter. Myers, who can't handle it as a Blue Devil ghost team. The Privateers of UNO leading the Dillard Blue Devils 29-26 with 3:15 and counting in the half as Dillard deals with a little full court pressure. Now in the front court with it as UNO's held Dillard to one of their last 5 from the floor, but finally the Blue Devils able to hit an open shot there, and a good finish there by Pope as the Privateers maybe caught napping a little bit. Now inside it goes to Jackson, who dribbled it off his ankle out of bounds. And that's been an issue for Jackson to deal with a little bit. He brings the ball down maybe a little more than the Privateer coaching staff would like.
Yeah, they really don't have, but maybe August to block shots. So there's no reason for Jackson to put it on the floor. You chin that ball and just power that ball up to the basket.
UNO up 11, Dillard working it around the arc, far side with it. Trying to be patient as Bates puts it back in the hands of Elijah Moore. Moore trying to create, trying to beat the shot clock, draws the foul on a very difficult shot as Kamani Doughty, one of those defensive no-nos, diving into the shooter, although you can see Doughty claiming that it was one of those leg kick deals, but as we look at the replay here, Doughty clearly was in his space. And a little bit too up close and personal on the closeout.
Yeah, he's got a little bit anxious to try to give him a shot target to shoot over. And we got to do a better job. Elijah Moore is too crafty a player, averaging 13 points a game.
Lefty misses the first free throw attempt there. Moore already with 10 points on 5 of 10 shooting, but been more dangerous off the dribble. Trying to make the back end here and able to do so. Moore making his 15th start of the season, coming in averaging nearly 14 points per game and well on his way to that, with UNO leading 39-29 over the Blue Devils. And quickly to the hole, and again a nice finish in traffic for Daniel Sackey.
Yeah, Sackey just, again, he's penetrating, getting downhill. If you don't stop him, he can be very dangerous for the Privateer.
6 points and 4 assists already as Dillard loses it out of bounds. And they haven't turned it over too often. They've been shooting too quickly oftentimes to do that. But the 5th turnover of the game for Dillard as UNO, with 1:53 to go and counting in the half, has it in the hands of Green. Here is Jackson down low. One good strong dribble there. Loses it, gets it back, stuck with it for the layup.
Did he get an assist for that move?
You know they'll check their stats later and say, Coach, but on that one I don't think so. I think he's just happy to be able to finally get one up and in. 7 points for T-Jack as UNO with their biggest lead yet at 14. And now Green with a steal and has it poked away out of bounds, but the Privateers will have it at half court. Troy Green, we mentioned, leading the Southland at 2.2 steals per game, comes up with his first one of this contest.
Yeah, he does a good job of anticipating and reading body language from the passer. He gets in passing lanes and just does a good job of coming up with steals. Every game, he's going to get 2 or 3 steals a ball game.
Patient on the hesitation dribble, but blocked on the help D by August in the end. Bates down the floor, hit before the layup try, and they're going to wave off the basket and say the foul was on the floor on New Orleans, and it will go against Kamani Doughty. His second personal. Just the 3rd team foul here with 1:06 to go, so that helps UNO out as Dillard will have to work it in on the baseline here late in the first half. And it will come outside to Baker. Baker matched up with Green, goes behind the back, tries to spin. Sackey helped a little bit before the pass off. Now a lean-in jumper off target by Moore. Rebound for the Privateers. And Jamel Myers up ahead to Sackey. He'll try a pull-up 3 and drill it from the left side.
Sackey's playing with so much confidence right now. We got to have him as well as Troy Green to take over this ball game.
9 points for Sackey as another contested J and almost hit the roof from downtown, but able to hit it, Makai Pope, as Dillard hits their first 3 in 10 tries in the last minute of this half. UNO up 46-32. Shot clock and game clock are almost identical, but Jackson trying to work right side, throws it away over the head of the cutter. Myers into the front court. Does Dillard realize the shot clock is off? It looks like they do, and Pope will pull it out for one last opportunity, but it's deflected at half court, out of bounds off of Dillard, and UNO will have a chance with 6.8 to go. Moore upset with the call, but the official determined he was the last to touch it as he and Green were in the vicinity. Now Sackey with it. He realizes the clock, has a shot block, picks it back up, goes down low. Myers spins, shoots, beats the.
The success is stepping out your comfort zone. And this is where UNO, the challenge for UNO is right now.
Dillard will have the ball first as we're underway in the second half. Handling it is Nicholas Carmouche, looking to create up the dribble, but can't get the floater to go. Well contested by Green. Up ahead, Sackey running the floor. Doughty lays it in. Excellent pass, about a 60-footer by Sackey as he comes up with assist number 4 of the ball game.
That was a good hands-up play by Sackey. He didn't waste the dribble. He looked ahead, looked for the kick ahead, and I thought UNO did a good job with a 5-man break.
Doughty able to block the shot after being beat off the bounce from behind on Mason. UNO, though, turns it over the other way. Quickly to Mason, one-on-one with Doughty. Well defended at the rim, short of it. And Sackey picking it up and looking to attack down the floor, but not able to save his pass cross court. Green off his fingertips into the UNO bench.
You got to take some mustard off that hot dog. You got 2 turnovers in a row. Need a point guard. Assist to turnover ratio has got to be 3 to 1. That's the mark of a good point guard.
And Mark Schlesinger wanting to have a conversation with Sackey. We'll bring in Norris Williams for him and talk to him on the sideline as play continues. 48-32. First minute of the half is done. Privateers one off of their biggest lead as Dillard works it around the perimeter. And trying to be patient, looking for a spot to drive is Moore. He'll pass it off to Billingsley and his shot deflected, but they'll say Myers got a piece of the arm as well on the baseline jumper to send the Blue Devils to the stripe.
Well, I thought the Blue Devils did a good job of making sure that they did some execution in half court. At the end, I thought Billingsley did a good job of recognizing that he had somewhat of a mismatch. By going straight up and can't let them off the hook by fouling the jump shoot.
Billingsley shoots quickly at the line, came in at only 50% on the season, but made them both. 48-34, UNO leads it. By the way, we want to say, as Dillard showing a 3-2 zone, it appears, for the first time in this game. Privateers will try to dissect that. It's Blue Devils spelled B-L-E-U, unlike maybe those folks in Durham, North Carolina that you're used to. Jackson on the great feed from Doughty, fouled on the baseline at the rim, as UNO will get their big man to the foul line. That's B-L-E-U, Devils. That's very French, very New Orleans, or Nueva Orleans, I guess is the way you'd say it, Coach.
I guess so. But I think at halftime, I wonder if Coach Noel had somewhat of a voice with Coach Gray, Ashanti Gray, is doing a good job over there in place of Mike Newell. But I thought that was a good call to start the half in the zone.
Giving UNO a different look, trying to prevent them getting it inside, but the Privateers did a nice job to set up Jackson, who missed the first free throw but makes the second for his 8th point. 49-34, Privateers lead it. And we see Doughty extending defensively for the Privateers against Mason here and trying to stay on his hip, but Mason gets by him. Jackson, though, there to help. The ball's lost on the floor, and the Blue Devils fortunate to save it. More pull-up jumpers straight away from 16 off target. August, as he does so often for Dillard, comes up with the rebound. Another chance to reset for the Blue Devils as UNO continues to try to pressure the ball all over the half court. Losing it trying to save it and pass it off. Carmouche turns it over. Dowdy with the steal up ahead. Green for the layup.
The Blue Devils are a very dangerous offensive rebounding team. UNO was very, very lucky to come up with that ball. They're scoring in transition. I think that UNO's got to continue to attack 94 feet.
Green able to match his average with 13 points already. Runner will be missed short. Another offensive board, Dillard. August not able to convert inside. Dowdy finally comes up with the rebound for the Privateers. Now Green quickly across the timeline, and we have action away from the ball as a UNO player was knocked completely out of bounds. That's Jackson, and the whistle will go against Dillard.
Yeah, I think Jeremiah August and Jackson got a little bit tangled up. Jackson got the short end of the stick on that one.
August out of Lafayette, Louisiana, listed at 250. He's no small fella. 3-ball missed, rimmed out for Norris Williams, and now poked in the eye.
I think that they see the urgency to try to cut back in this lead early in the second half.
Dillard 0 of 6 from the floor in the second half and trying to hang in it down 17. Into the front court, breaking the pressure is Mason, but still being hounded by Dowdy for New Orleans. Mason into the lane, shot blocked on the help D by Myers. Chance to run for UNO. Outlet to Williams, he can't handle it, tried to save it, and Dillard comes up with it. Bates down the court, finds an open teammate who tried to draw the foul, and Mason couldn't, gets it back, and it's blocked by Myers. End-to-end action at the lakefront here as Green finds an open teammate, Myers with the jumper from 17 feet.
That's a good veteran decision. He went his speed, and Myers was able to get on that wing for a nice mid-range jump shot.
Long 3 off target by Moore. Up ahead again, the quick outlet by the Privateers. Dowdy intended for Myers that town, and a couple Blue Devils down there. One got a finger on it to knock it away out of bounds. 16-12 mark of the second half. And again, this has been a fun game to watch so far. Yeah. Both teams getting to stretch their legs out and run a little bit. Privateers really good in transition. Dillard thrives off of it. And they're playing a smaller lineup tonight, so you can understand why they want to do so even more as UNO will work it around the arc. Green off a screen, fakes the 3, puts it on the floor, right of the lane to the rim, and banked in.
That was good body control by Troy Green. But both teams averaging 74 points a game. So I knew the clock was going to be busy tonight.
Bates with an offensive board misses the follow on the reverse. Another loose ball pickup for Dillard. Back to Bates down low. No chance for him to get off a shot as it's blocked by Myers. Now August, first free throw up and in by Dillard. As at the line, the very active Jeremiah August. And missing the second foul shot off target is Deontay Bell back in for New Orleans, first time in the half. Comes up with his 3rd rebound. 55-35 Privateers on top of the Blue Devils. Rodney Carson back in. Norris Williams gets a shot for 3 in the far corner. That's off target.
Looked like Dillard was in a 3-2 zone in that possession. They're changing their defense quite a bit in the second half, trying to cause confusion.
Looking to drive and cut off, and able to pass it out is Carmouche. Dillard, when they're forced to slow down, will still throw up some tough shots, but that's what the Privateers want to see, including this tough fadeaway, but a heck of a jumper over the extended fingertips of Bell. Billingsley able to come up with his 2nd made field goal.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. Nice pull-up shot by Billingsley.
Privateers, though, up 18 as Dillard missed their first 12 shots of the half before that one. And that's what you want to see New Orleans do, get it into the big man Jackson, who finishes.
Just glad to see Jackson go up strong with it, because when he goes up strong, there's nothing they can do about it.
Jackson with 10 points to go along with 6 rebounds for the Privateers, back up by 20. Now a baseline chance to drive and a soft finish with the opposite hand, Elijah Moore. Looks like a natural scorer for them and getting the opportunity to jack up a lot of shots for the shorthanded Blue Devils. Now has 13 points. Bell at the high post to Carson, and now up top Williams. Finds an open shooter left side. Dowdy from downtown, and Kamani confident with the shot there to hit his 2nd 3. Has 13 points for New Orleans.
Dowdy's playing very well tonight. He's taking what the defense giving him. Nice shot, squared up shoulders, bend his knees, nice follow through.
And he'll be important for UNO against teams that do zone them in conference because he's got the ability to be a stretch out the defense kind of shooter like we've seen a couple times tonight. 60-39 UNO. Billingsley in the mid post will step back and try to hit one over Bell again. That one will not go. Williams comes up with it quickly across the timeline for New Orleans. Passing at the foul line to Carson, who will go cross court, far side Dowdy. Back to Bell and into the corner. Williams, plenty of room to launch a three off the front of the rim. Carson couldn't come up with the rebound. Chance to run for Dillard. Here is Billingsley for the reverse layup, and a nice job going by Bell one-on-one in transition.
Yeah, but that was a good way to shield his body by using that rim, protect his shot getting blocked.
8 points for Billingsley. 13 minutes to go. UNO up 60-41. As Privateer reserves getting an opportunity here. 3 of them on the floor with Dowdy and Jackson, including Williams, the young point guard. Back to Dowdy with 8 to shoot. Stepping out, the jumper outside of the paint. And a really nice job to square it up and hit it for Rodney Carson.
Yeah, well, they stand in that 3-2 zone, which is not giving UNO any problems at all. They're pretty much getting the shots that they want against that 3-2. So many gaps, and you taking that ball inside, outside the side, it's going to open up some open opportunities for them to get shots. So
Billingsley wasn't open there. The 6'9" Bell laughing down the floor as it's an air ball. That a forced shot for the Blue Devils. As UNO really contesting shots well. Dillard just hit some tough ones, but they've struggled in the second half at 18% and down to 34 in the ball game, and you have to credit the guys in white for that.
Yeah, UNO seemed like they ratcheted up their defense. Looked like Coach Schlesinger must have said, let's go ahead and finish this game the right way and not allow them to get back in it.
Kirkland and Vincent in the ball game. Vincent with it now. Kirkland not having to log heavy minutes tonight as he's played well and hard for UNO in his first year with the program, flashing in the paint instead at the point. Saki, who's back on the floor. Cross court to Vincent with 12 minutes to go and 7 to shoot now. Saki, a catch-shoot-3 opportunity, and the miss is rebound by Billingsley. Quickly the other way, Moore finds an open teammate, lay it up and in, and a nice job as Mason running the opposite wing, able to get the easy finish.
Well, one thing I like about UNO too, they're pushing the ball before Dillard has a chance to set their zone. But UNO can't become jump shot happy. They got to penetrate in the gaps, draw 2 people and pitch, or throw it in the post and let the big boys go to work.
Excellent job by Bell finding the gap to feed Kirkland, but not able to get it in. A little too strong off the glass. Now Dillard an open 3 on the other end of the floor. And Shamar Bass, the lefty from the left wing, able to drill just the second made 3 of the game for the Blue Devils. And they've cut it back a little closer at 62-46, 11 minutes to go. Carson will try to get it right back, and he does. Rodney for 3, now 4 of 5 from the floor. He really needed a good shooting game, and he's got 10 points, the 4th Privateer in double figures already.
Yeah, Privateers are doing a good job of being patient, looking for the best shot.
Best job defensively is Dillard, shooting just 26%, and the Privateers on the other end up to 62% in the half and 52 for the game.
Yeah, and UNO have good balance scoring as well. You got 4 guys in double figures with Tyson Jackson with 10, Doty with 13, Green with 15, Rodney Carson with 10.
Kirkland able to come up with the rebound on the left wing miss by Moore, as UNO for the most part has kept Dillard on the perimeter here in the half. Now Kirkland will set up Vincent for 3, and the Privateers doing a nice job from downtown in this half, hitting their 3rd free ball. And that's something Vincent, who played primarily inside in high school here in New Orleans, has really worked on. His first bucket, a beauty from the right side. Now Dillard will launch one from deep, and Kirkland had the rebound and able to save it after the miss by Mason. Saki up ahead to Vincent. Something he can do is do something in transition like that behind the back. Can't get it to go, but Bell on the follow is fouled to go to the strike.
Yeah, well, I think with Bell, he's so long, he's strong in there. They continue to get balls in transition. You got 5-man attack. Carson was running that wing. He was open on this right wing over here. But I thought Bell did a good job of attacking the rim to get offensive stickbacks.
His free throw shooting a work in progress, but that one a really nice one at the stripe. Came in at just 41% at the line on the year. But he was huge in UNO's last game, the win over Northwestern State. Defended one of the best interior players in the league, and Kendall Coleman extremely well. Came up with 7 huge rebounds as the Privateers try to come up with the loose ball on the missed shot by Bell. Dillard able to save it. Good behind the back move and a look to drive, and not able to get it to go down is Bates. But a steal of the outlet pass for the Blue Devils, and the wraparound by Bates trying to set up August, who's upset, said he was fouled, but it's a clean strip as far as the official's concerned, and that allows Vincent a chance to run, but he misses the layup at the rim. Up ahead quickly, here is Bates with the catch and shoot 3 opportunity, and he hits it from the left side.
Yeah, Bates got a nice jump shot. You got to make sure you find him in transition. But I think UNO has got to this half-court set. He's got to be very patient. That was, oh, come on now, Simeon. You got to finish that.
Yeah, beautiful feed on the lob as he was cutting from the left side. Bell tried to get it to him, and Kirkland missed. Bates tried to hit another 3 ball and didn't, but the tap in will go to Elijah Moore, his first rebound. And then a nationally televised contest against McNeese, a team UNO will be looking to gain revenge against after the Southland tip-off.
Yeah, that will be a game that be a national audience. ESPN, you got to be able to be ready to play. They moved it to a Sunday to get more of a TV audience.
Troy Green needs a TV audience for that move, spinning after the drive from the left baseline and finishing in the lane. 17 points for Troy to reestablish a 20-point lead for New Orleans. Now the Blue Devils on the drive. It's Elijah Moore missing the reverse. Rebound Jackson. Back in the hands of Green, who brings it into the front court. Troy has been really good with his decision-making with the basketball, 8 of 13 shooting. And now it goes inside, and Vincent finally able to finish around the rim. He's got 5 points, and UNO with a nice spurt coming out of the timeout, back up by 22.
Well, that was a good athletic move by Turk. He's done a good job tonight of making sure he plays within himself. But that's good ball pressure by Saki.
And the Privateers continue to really work on the ball, defending around the arc, taking rhythm away from Dillard. Another behind the back play to try to create a shot, and the long 3 will not go. Dillard able to come up with the loose ball once more after the miss by Pope. Bates into the corner, right side. Billingsley grazes the front of the rim. Right place, right time, though, for the layup by that man again, Jeremiah August. 4 opportunities on that trip, Coach.
Yep, you can't give up 4 offensive rebounds. You got to keep playing. You got to play this game out.
Green, a gorgeous dish, got the defender to leave his feet, and Tyson Jackson gets the dunk.
Green is playing like a veteran player. He's taking nothing for granted, and he's leading his team, but that was a nice dish to Jackson.
His 3rd assist gives Jackson a dozen points in the contest. 6:40 to go, 75-53, UNO in comfortable position here. Now off a screen, not shooting Pope. He'll pull up on the baseline and hit a tough 15-footer.
Okay, let's see UNO making 3 stops on the defensive end in a row, but continue to execute the offense to make sure that you clean up some of the mistakes that you've been making early in the year.
4 of the 5 starters tonight for UNO still in the game, getting a shift in here with the lead, trying to finish strong as Green's one-hand pass knocked right back to him. Now Saki with it, shot clock draining on New Orleans. Back to Green for the 3 left side, not able to get it to go down on the board to Billingsley. Now up ahead quickly to Bates, right wing, into the paint he goes at 52 to go. A lot of players getting a piece of the pie tonight, including Kamani Dowdy back on the court. He's had a huge night so far, quietly, taking advantage of the start. A career high in points, field goals made, and even minutes, Coach. Also 5 rebounds, 1 off of his career high in that category, and he's defended really well for New Orleans also.
Dowdy's taking advantage of a chance opportunity. 13 points, 5 rebounds, and really glad to see him having this type of opportunity and taking advantage of it.
The 6'5" versatile Privateer was going to get a lot more minutes moving forward the way he has played this evening. Bates split the trip at the free throw line, front court with it. Here's Myers, 1 dribble, and out top to Green. He'll give it up right side to Saki, who penetrates and dishes to Green. Left wing 3-ball and TG for 3, and it's huge when Green's able to knock down the long-range shot. 2 threes tonight, 20 points to lead all scorers.
Daniel Sackey set that up, though, with penetrated and pitch. But I think right now you got to continue to stay within your offense. Don't force anything. Make sure you continue to work on your execution.
And UNO goes down low to Jackson, but his jump hook a little short. Dillard with the rebound after the miss by Pope on the other end. Rajon Billingsley with 11 rebounds tonight, helping pick up the slack for the undersized Blue Devils, who are missing some key inside players if you're just joining us. That time Bates throws it away. The steal by Sackey and an easy layup as he was allowed to go right to the rim by Carmouche that time. Sackey creating defensively and having a really nice night, and he's got a triple-double on his mind, Coach. 11 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. Now Bates' pull-up jumper in the lane is good.
Bates is having a good basketball game tonight.
All more impressive that he just showed up again on the roster because they're shorthanded. Looks like he can definitely play. He's certainly showing the coaches that. Now creating Dowdy down low. The layup for Myers. Again, penetration, setting up good looks for the Privateers. Billingsley the other way for 3 is off target. Trying to get in double figures. Another rebound for August. He sweeps across the paint, draws the foul on Jackson, and one to get Dillard back to the free throw line. August continues to grind out there. He's got a double-double with 11 points and 10 boards. We'll take our final media time out of this one with 3:57 to go. UNO leading 82-60 over Dillard on the Privateer Sports Network and ESPN+. August at the line trying to complete the three-point play, and he does. But UNO in comfortable position, leading 82-61 as we're inside 4 minutes to go. And the final non-conference game of the year for the Privateers, like New Orleans, Dillard into conference play. They've got 2 games this week starting Thursday as Dowdy misses the pull-up jumper. Dillard the other way, and Dowdy steals the outlet pass in the backcourt. He brings it ahead, finds Carson, baseline left from 18 feet, and it's huge tonight for Rodney Carson. He's found his shot. 5 of 6 from the floor for a dozen points.
Privateers got off to a slow start, but they definitely have picked up the pace. Got a lot of buckets in transition.
Fun game for the fans of both teams, making the short trips to Lakefront Arena as Bates at the free throw line over 2 Privateers can't get it to go. August came up with another rebound, his 11th, but lost it. Up ahead, unselfish Carson to Bell, who misses the jam, but it goes in anyway. Counts 2 points any way you like it, Coach.
He definitely won't see that on the highlight. That might be on the bloopers tape.
That won't be on the pregame hype video, I promise you that.
Yeah.
Despite the good feed from Carson. 86-61 UNO with their biggest lead of the night with 3 minutes to go. Billingsley missing the 3. Bell with another rebound. Now Williams will set up UNO in the half-court offense. Darius Washington back in, the post player. Double teamed and smartly passes out to Dowdy. Dowdy on the crossover has it stripped away. Mason with the steal, up ahead against 2 UNO players. The second one, Carson rejects him out of bounds. Now Vincent will come in for Dowdy, who completes a really strong night. I think that'll be it for Kamani. After his second steal to go with his stat sheet stuffing 13 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. And UNO getting a lot of contributions this evening without Derek St. Hilaire, their leading scorer, available this evening. Fade away on the baseline, an off-balance shot missed by Moore and out of bounds off of Dillard with 2:13 remaining.
The Privateers have 5 guys in double figures led by Troy Green's 20. That's a good stat when you can share the wealth with the entire team.
24 assists on 37 makes, and Carson left alone. You don't leave somebody as hot as Rodney, the native of Philadelphia, his second 3. Now UNO's second leading scorer on the night amongst that group with 15.
Yeah, Carson is a very good defensive player, but he's shown that he's got the ability once he makes a couple shots. His confidence is up. He's shooting in a very relaxed state. He's got good follow-through on that shot.
Mason loses it on the lefty drive on the baseline near side. Well defended by Norris Williams, and Mason probably his night over with as he checks out of the ball game with 1:42 to go. UNO really finishing strong with their reserves playing well, up 89-61, and looking for a little more as Dillard will extend with some man-to-man defense. Bell faces up, ball fake to the hole for the jam with the right hand.
Well, it's good to see UNO. It's got a 3-game win streak going into conference play. I know it's a little early for me to predict that, but look like all the momentum is going UNO's way.
You know, Coach, I'll say up 30 with 1:10 to go. You're probably not out on too big of a limb there. As a fake on the dribble in August to pull up Jay left side. Doesn't go down, out of bounds, last touched by the Blue Devils with 1:04 to go. I didn't know you were so conservative, man.
Man, no, I just...
Have you ever lost a 30-point lead inside 2 minutes to go? You're too good of a coach for that.
No, I've not seen it.
I could probably not lose a 30-point lead with 2 minutes to go.
I've enjoyed watching this game. It's a good backdoor cut.
Carson banks it in, and the big man Bell had a great move a moment ago from the high post that time. An excellent bounce pass. As he's played 2 fine games in a row off the bench. Now the scoop and score and 1 for Elijah Moore. He's still grinding, and he's been a very high usage player tonight. Now has 17 points with a chance for 1 more at the free throw line. UNO's 3-point defense, best in the Southland this year coming in, and they've held Dillard, by the way, to 3 of 22 from beyond the arc tonight.
Wow, they've done a good job defending the arc, but they've also done a good job of getting buckets in transition. Before they even set up the zone in the second half, they were getting buckets.
93-64 as UNO. 1 off of their season high, 94 against Belhaven. So maybe the last chance to do that on this trip down the floor inside 30 seconds to go. Williams will back out on the dribble, reset the UNO offense. Vincent will come up top after catching the pass. High post, it goes to Washington, handed back to Vincent, trying to fight off the steal. Carson for 3, too strong. Dillard with the rebound, probably the last chance for the Blue Devils the other way. And down the court and scooping it up and in, and Elijah Moore makes it 2 straight 20-point games in a row. At 26 last time. He'll end tonight with exactly 20 as the Privateers run out the clock on an 80